Good evening. You're watching Breaking Today News right here on Switch TV. I am Lincoln Wambogo. Sign language interpreter is Michael Maithia. Send in your feedback and comments to our SMS line 11144 on Switch TV Kenya and at Lincoln Wambogo on all social media handles. So 30 minutes of the broadcast begins now. Former National Council of Non-Governmental Organizations chairperson ROGO MANDULI has died at her riverside home in Nairobi, her family has confirmed. ROGO MANDULI was born in Maseno to Gordon Rogo and Zeruye Adhiambo and attended Nye Girls School, then Butere Girls and later Machakos Girls. She was known for massive handscarves and African-style dressing. She was a vocal political figure and was the first Kenyan woman to participate in the East African Safari Rally in 1974 and 1975. Moving on, Deputy President William Ruto has bashed opposition leaders, saying they did not have the moral ground to criticize the government since they're the ones who sabotage its development agenda. The Deputy President was speaking at his current home during a meeting with Kisii grassroots leaders. Sazamunga with more details.
Wale watu wa NASA wanajaribu kutukosoa. Sasa mimi nawauliza marafiki zetu, si mkuwe na heshima kidogo.
Ruto says the Jubilee administration had a clear agenda but was replaced by the Building Bridges initiative.
Sasa rege hiyo yote imekwama. Saa hizi mnataka kutoroka ati mnaenda ngambo hiyo kwenda kutukriticize. Gentlemen, if you make your bed, please, you must lie on it.
The DP's sentiments were further echoed by his UDA counterparts present at the gathering.
Ukikojea ati upangwe na mwenye anakupanga pia kwa na kura moja badala ya kuja kwa wananchi wa wapange, then my friend utalia tu peke yako.
State House hakuna kura. Mutaitwa na mwenye State House kwa sasa. Lakini mkitoka pale kura ziko hapa.
Sidanganye watu kusema ati symbol ya chama inamaanisha kenye mtapewa. Kwa nini walikuwa wanapeana machungwa hawa wenye machungwa? Si ni uongo? Wale wakanu si symbol yao ni kuku. Wanapeananga kuku. So wakikuja muambie hiyo ni symbol ya chama.
The Deputy President spoke today at his current residence during a meeting with Kisii grassroots leaders from Nairobi County. Sazamunga, Switch TV.
Thank you, Sazamunga. TIATY Member of Parliament William Kamket and former LAIKIPIA North Member of Parliament Matthew Lempurkel have been arrested by the detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. The two leaders are suspected to be linked to banditry attacks in LAIKIPIA County that have led to the death of 8 people in the last 1 month. Flora Limuki narrates.
As tension in LAIKIPIA County continues to ensue following banditry attacks in the area, 8 people have died in the last 1 month. Of the 8, 3 are police officers enforcing security in the region, while 5 are civilians.
Wale watu ambao wamepoteza maisha yao kufikia sasa kwa muda wa mwezi mmoja ni watu 8. Kati ya hao watu 8, 3 ni maafisa wa usalama, maafisa wetu wa askari wa polisi, na hao wengi waliuawa kabla operation ianze jana.
Rift Valley Regional Commissioner George NATEMBEYA has raised concerns over the alleged supply of weapons to Murangs and suspected bandits, claiming that they are being facilitated.
Alafu wale wengine ambao hawa 22 households ambao zilichomwa, pia kama serikali tafute njia ya kuhakikisha kwamba watu wanapata makao. Nje ya Kenya hawezi kuendelea namna hiyo. Bali tumefikia sasa, tumechora mstari katika mchanga. Hatuwezi kuendelea namna hiyo kwamba watu wanaamua kwamba hii dunia itakalika na inakuwa hivyo kwa sababu kuna bunduki. Serikali ndio itakana kuwa na monopoly ya those tools of terror and violence, sio civilians kama vile kumekuwa sehemu hiyo. Kubeba bunduki kule imekuwa ni kama jambo la kawaida.
At the same time, former LAIKIPIA North Member of Parliament Matthew Lempurkel and TIATY Member of Parliament William Kamket have been arrested in relation to the ongoing LAIKIPIA clashes. Deputy President William Ruto has asked the Inspector General of Police Hilary Mutyambai to decline political assignments and discharge his duty of law enforcement with diligence.
I want to ask the IG and his team to carry out their mandate in accordance with the Constitution and to avoid the politicization of security in Kenya.
Nakuru Senator Susan Kihika has called on the police to step up efforts to secure Kenyans, citing LAIKIPIA insecurity has been neglected by the government.
But we must demand that the security of this country be in the right places to make sure that they are defending the lives and properties of our fellow Kenyans.
Some of the locals now have started relocating due to fear of retaliatory attacks. Flora Limuki, Switch TV.
Thank you, Flora Limuki. Former National Council of Non-Governmental Organizations chairperson ROGO MANDULI has died at her riverside home in Nairobi, her family has confirmed. ROGO MANDULI was born in Maseno to Gordon Rogo and Zuria Adhiambo and attended Ng'ia Girls High School, then Butere Girls and later Machakos Girls. She was known for massive hand scarves and African-style dressing. She was a vocal political figure and was the first Kenyan woman to participate in the East African Safari Rally in 1974 and 1975. May her soul rest in eternal peace. ODM party leader Raila Odinga has promised to empower those at the grassroots level. While speaking today at the party headquarters where they welcomed party defectors, Raila has distanced himself from the failed government projects by the current regime, saying his handshake with the president was only meant to bring unity in the country. Daniel Kariuki reports.
In what was yet again providing itself as a platform for the ODM party to hint who will be flying their party ticket in the general elections barely 10 months away,
party leader wetu wa ODM ni Raila Amolo Odinga, and he's the 5th president of Kenya through the ODM ticket.
Mkamchague baba yetu Raila Odinga. Tunataka turudishe nchi hii kwa viongozi wema, viongozi wenye kusikiza na kuwajali wananchi wote wa Kenya.
Mko tayari? Mko tayari? Mimi nataka kuambia nyinyi inawezekana.
The ODM party leader Raila Odinga today welcoming back party members who had defected to other parties, including the UDA party. Odinga presenting himself as the most preferred candidate to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta by laying out his likely agenda to use in the run-up to the elections.
ODM iko na sera. ODM kwa kimombo inasema iko na sera ya social democracy. Hiyo ni demokrasia ya kijamii. Ndio wale watu wa chini huko, wale ambao wanaishi kwenye vitongoji duni huko chini.
Direct jabs were also thrown at the deputy president, his wealth being put to question. Raila further distancing himself from the failed promises given by the current government, saying his handshake with the president was only meant to bring unity in the country.
Kila mtoto atapata laptop katika shule. Hiyo laptop umeona? Imeonekana? Imeonekana? Ati stadium zitajengwa kila mahali, kila county. Hizo stadium mliziona? Ndio sasa Uhuru unajaribu kuyajenga. Manake sasa Uhuru amepata afueni. Nilikuta kama Uhuru alikuwa ameshikwa namna hii ko.
In a meeting filled with succession politics talks, all fingers seem to be pointing at the direction of the former premier side, Raila Odinga, as the preferred candidate to fly the ODM party ticket in the run-up presidential elections, notwithstanding the fact that Raila Odinga is yet to declare officially his bid to vie for the presidency. Daniel Kariuki for Switch TV, Nairobi County.
Thank you, Daniel Kariuki. Still on matters politics, a group of young leaders drawn from the 7 constituencies of MURANG County yesterday castigated the deputy president following his endorsement on Senator Irungu Kang'ata and lawyer Edward Mureu as his favorite candidates for MURANG gubernatorial and Gatanga parliamentary seats, respectively. Take a look.
We want to say this, we are the people who want to change that from being endorsed to people deciding for their own leader. So we are against what happened yesterday, because that's not democracy.
We have come here to rebuke with the loudest words possible that we want to make the whole nation and our MURANG County people to know that we won't dwell or we won't rely on those endorsements. People must come on the ground, sell their manifestos to Wanjiku, and we are the people who can only give you endorsement as Wanjiku.
We want to send a message to the DP that here in MURANG we are not political orphans. That we are waiting for any dad to come and adopt us.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has today declared the drought affecting parts of the country a national disaster. The president has further instructed the National Treasury and Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government to spearhead the government efforts to assist affected households with essential needs, including water and relief food distribution, as well as livestock uptake. The decision follows today's meeting between the head of state and 85 leaders from Kenya's arid and semi-arid lands, also led by Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani. It's evident from the ongoing healthcare workers' strike in Mombasa that the healthcare system faces numerous challenges, especially in this COVID-19 pandemic period. With a current positivity rate of 8.4%, our reporter Harry Chime gives us more details on the state of the health in Mombasa County amid the healthcare workers' strike.
2 days into downing their tools, Mombasa County health workers continue to decry over unpaid dues for over 2 months, lack of remittances, and comprehensive healthcare insurance covers.
Care workers don't even have transport to go to work. They don't have rent to pay for the house, to buy food, to pay for the electricity and water. And so they can't go to work. And so there's been a go slow right now. We've tried to engage the county government several times, but they haven't given any positive result. But interestingly, what has happened in the past 2 weeks, the number of COVID patients has reduced in Coast General in the COVID isolation center. From 50 right now, we have around 15 patients. But now the situation right now currently is being worsened by the ongoing go slows that we're seeing in the facilities in Mombasa County.
The cry of these agitated workers is now being tabled at the county assembly following Healthcare Workers Union filing their petition. The healthcare workers, in conjunction with their respective unions, are set to have a meeting tomorrow with the Ministry of Labour to deliberate on possible solutions.
They're trying to get loans from financial institutions to pay for the salaries. That's what they're trying to do. But I don't even know whether they'll get that money, because I don't think there's any financial institution that can trust the county government of Mombasa, because they have been they've not been paying their loans.
Meanwhile, the country has registered 649 new cases, raising the total number of confirmed cases to 241,783. 30 late deaths have also been reported, raising the number of total fatalities to 4,830. 333 patients have recovered, raising the cumulative of those recovered to 230,095. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Harriet Chimea.
And that story by Harriet Chimea from Mombasa County takes us to a short commercial break. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more. Welcome back and thank you for keeping it Switch TV. With the use of face masks being one of the ways to keep the COVID-19 virus at bay, it has made communication nearly impossible for the deaf community who read lips while communicating. Mariam Jahid spent the day with the Deaf Society as they celebrate International Deaf Awareness Week.
The deaf community in Kenya has marked Deaf Awareness Week in style, pomp and color in a competition that seeks to find Mr. and Miss Deaf Kenya. The audience who attended the event also having to adjust to the style of celebration by raising their hands to signify their cheer. The participants dressed from casual to cultural attire to win approval of judges. Behind the attractive and friendly smiles hiding the challenges they face since onset of COVID-19.
We use sign language, and it is a visual language. And so we always prefer to use mouthing, and that means if you have a mask, it is very difficult for you to understand what I'm talking about.
Abdullah, who is the advocate for the Deaf Society in Kenya, has urged the public to embrace sign language.
Encourage many people to learn sign language, and with that it's be easier to communicate, because like we use our hands to talk. So basically generally communication is a problem.
But how do they survive in a case they need to talk secretly?
Are having a date, meeting their sweetheart, then they are talking, it's possible for them to keep a secret. They do not want an interpreter during that time.
It's an event of its kind. Deaf community in Kenya are celebrating Deaf Awareness Week with a touch of talent laced with fashion. Mariam Jahid, Switch TV, Nairobi.
And from the business desk, with financial trends proving to be uncertain amongst households, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic period, health and economic experts suggest it's high time to consider your life assurance cover. According to these experts, having these cover offsets the financial burden left behind by the policyholder. Our business reporter Bran Mwenda looks into the pros and cons of having a life assurance cover.
Now, since the onset of COVID-19 pandemic in the country, one thing has come out conspicuously: the need of financial literacy among Kenyans on health.
From treatment to burial expenses, COVID-19 pandemic has proved to be a relatively expensive affair, leaving behind a financial debt by the deceased to their loved ones. However, health economic experts say that with life assurance cover, a big percentage of the financial burden can be offloaded.
Actually, when the person is gone, a lot of expenses are left behind. And most families are not capable really of meeting a lot of expenses after having spent so much to care for the health of the deceased. So there is a lot of need for cash, for funeral services, for the medical bills. So it should take effect immediately after the person has died.
If you can insure your car, why can't you insure your income? Why can't you insure your family? Why can't you secure yourself? Because nobody foresees death.
However, there is a downside to this cover.
Life insurance, it has actually created some kind of social problems which we see around, that the beneficiary starts aspiring for that life assurance even before the person is dead.
All said and done, the decision to secure your finances and health lies upon you. Bran Mwenda, Switch TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Bran Mwenda. Meanwhile, Kenya Revenue Authority officers have arrested 3 people and seized 43 containers of hides and skins at the port of Mombasa. KRA officers, together with a multi-agency team at the port of Mombasa, have undertaken a 100% verification exercise of 43 containers loaded with hides and skins worth approximately 112 million instead of mass as declared in customs entries. The exporters of the hides and skins, which are believed to be locally sourced, had declared in customs documents the containers were loaded with mats which were to be shipped to the United States of America and Europe to circumvent customs regulations and avoid suspicion that they were involved in illegal exportation of the products.
Ticketed into the port, and as a procedure, all of them were scanned.
The information came on time. We have a very strong enforcement team at the port of Mombasa. And those who are cheating, they will be nabbed, like we've done today. Some arrests have been made. Actually, there are 3. Some of them are the owners, clearing agents, and 1 broker. In terms of the assessment, in terms of taxes forgone, the estimate is about 75 million for the 43 containers. 75 million.
The European Union EC has declared a joint venture between Safaricom and its parent firm VODAFONE for Ethiopia entry after initially announcing plans to scrutinize it over competition concerns. The clearance now paves the way for VODAFONE to join its partners for the Ethiopia entry. The Safaricom-led consortium, which also includes the British Development Finance Agency CDC Group and Japan's Sumitomo Corporation, received a telecommunication operator license in Ethiopia in July this year after incorporating a local company, setting the stage for Kenya's largest telco to start operations in the market of over 100 million people.
Partnership for Ethiopia, which is just coming into the Ethiopian telecommunications landscape as a global competitor to...
It's now time to get sporty. VIHIGA Queens, who stormed through to the final of the regional CAF Women's Champions League qualifiers, will face CBE at Ethiopia at 4 p.m. East African time tomorrow at Kasarani Stadium.